Hey, welcome back everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. So today we're doing a little bit different. We're not doing any boosteroid cloud gaming stuff today, even though I still have to have banners to promote boosteroid. But today we're doing something a little bit different. Um, we're jumping into VR. It's been a long time since I used the VR headset. Well, it's been about 9 months. I think I stopped using my VR headset in January of this year. Yeah, it's been exactly what 9 months, give or take 9 months. And a lot has changed with the MetaQuest. A lot of updates have come through. A lot of updates with Microsoft Flight Simulator have come through regarding the Flight Simulator VR, and I have to say, it looks pretty good. I'm using a Cessna 172, um, and and this is by link. This is wireless. I don't have any like a cable connected to it. The only cable I have is that's connected to my charger. So what you're seeing over here, this is my charger that I use to charge my headset because the batteries go really quick on this bad boy. So that's connected to my extension cord to charge the batteries. Although Meta Facebook does have um, a cable, which is pretty expensive, but it's good. It charges really fast, but it also gives you the best possible quality bitrate link connection between your PC and your VR headset. So that way you have the best possible PC experience. But I got to tell you, this AirLink, it's pretty good as well. Now, you have to make sure that your computer's it's nearby. My laptop's right in front of me, so it's not that far. So so far so good, man. I have to say, I'm impressed with how this looks. Maybe we can go down and go a little bit lower altitude, right? So we can see some scenery. Um, Now, I do have to lower the scenery a little bit to medium because my gaming laptop, of course, it's not that powerful. All right, you guys have to understand that my gaming laptop's not powerful enough to handle like a high quality scenery. You certainly will need 5080, 5090, 7900 XTX, or 9070, or something like that, or Ryzen 9, or a dedicated GPU with a lot of RAM. That would certainly help. Uh, an additional, memory RAM, like I would say 32 gigs, you know, it's a mandatory to have on your computer, right? So also in the news, for those of you who have heard on the news, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it's coming to PlayStation, and I'm super excited for that. That it's coming to PlayStation 5 this December 8th. I'm certainly buying it for Christmas, December 8th. But also, they're working in development with PlayStation VR 2. And I think PlayStation VR 2 version is going to be the best version. And here's the reason why. The reason I believe the PlayStation VR 2 version is going to be the best version, it's for several reasons, which I'm going to name the few right now. One of the reasons is, first of all, the panel, it's OLED. So you get the best possible quality, the best possible colors, the best possible visuals. You're getting the OLED panel. You're getting a 110 field of view. And you're also getting the eye tracking, which also will help with the experience. And on top of all of that, you are getting a high dynamic range, HDR, So all of these elements, all of these features, including HDR and OLED and 110 field of view and 120 hertz refresh rate, all of that stuff will really bring that beautiful quality. And the spatial 3D audio on top of that, it's going to make the experience even more immersive. So what I'm trying to say, the PlayStation VR 2 is going to be the best experience. PlayStation 5, PlayStation VR 2 experience next year, it's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be the best experience. And I think a lot of people will agree. And I think this will certainly help uh, Sony PlayStation VR 2 to sell. I think next year, once they roll out PlayStation VR 2 update for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I think you will see PSVR 2 in shortage. 100%. So I think now's the time, this Christmas, get yourself a PlayStation VR 2. You can still play a lot of great games. You can still play Gran Turismo 7 and other games. There's still good games out there to play on PlayStation VR 2. Uh, Now, there's nothing wrong with the MetaQuest 3. Look, MetaQuest 3 is one of my favorite VR headsets because of so many features that the MetaQuest has that the PlayStation VR 2 doesn't have, of course. So for me, uh, MetaQuest 3, it's always going to be my favorite VR headset because it has so many features, so many cool experiences that you can experience that you can't experience on PlayStation VR 2. Even though you can use, PC adapter for PlayStation VR 2, but that's bit of a hassle you have to go through just to get the whole thing started. Uh, this is a good experience, okay? There's nothing wrong with this experience. It's a good experience, but it's not the best experience. To truly experience Microsoft Flight Simulator in VR, I would say Pimax. You need to have a really good PC, like a high-end PC, super high-end PC, like at least 5080 or 5090, 5080 minimum, 5080 minimum or recommended 5090 with 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, i9 processor, the latest in i9 processor generation that they have, with all these cores available, the latest and greatest in i9 processor. And then you get yourself a Pimax, and then I think you're going to have the best flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator experience. But that's super expensive. We're talking like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, man. We're talking, because just the Pimax alone, it's like $1,500. And depending which Pimax, if you want the best Pimax, you're looking like at $2,000. So $3,000 for this high-end PC, or let's say $4,000 for this high-end PC, and $2,000 for this Pimax headset, you're looking at like $6,000, like easily. But that's you know, for those of you who are retired pilots, Air Force pilots, commercial pilots, and you have retirement money, so for you, you can have that hobby, $6,000. It's not that big of a deal, right? So this is why I think that PlayStation VR 2 and the PlayStation 5 are really going to benefit, especially with the PlayStation 5 Pro. So if you buy a PS5 Pro with PlayStation VR 2 and you you connect PS5 Pro version with PlayStation VR 2, I think you're going to have a good premium experience, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to have a good premium experience that normally it would cost you much, much more money if you wanted to have that like premium experience. This is not a premium experience. This is like a decent VR experience. It's still kind of blurry. It's not vivid. It's hard to read. I have to really get close to like to see what's on there, right? I mean, it's better than nothing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's better than nothing, but it's not the greatest experience, you know. But it's a good affordable. This is like a good affordable experience to get your feet wet, right? With VR, and I think MetaQuest 3 it's a good start for you to get you. I honestly believe MetaQuest 3 it's like a really good way to start your VR experience. It's not just for the video games, but it's also for all the other experiences that you can have, including Meta Horizon, VR chat. I mean, there's so many experiences out there. You can watch 3D movies. I mean, big screen VR, etc., etc., etc. There's so much out there for you to experience with MetaQuest. If you guys do your research, if you go on YouTube and research about MetaQuest, and if you see just the amount of experience you can have with MetaQuest, it's just endless. Honestly, there's endless and endless of applications, endless and endless of experiences that you can have, and I still believe the MetaQuest 3. It's honestly the best way, the most affordable, the the most affordable and the best way for you to get your feet wet. This is for people who never tried VR. Like if you never tried VR and it's like your first time trying VR, I would say this is like the best the best experience for you to get your feet wet. Honestly, and I recommend this to everybody who wants to start their VR journey. You should always start your VR journey from the beginning. And I think MetaQuest is certainly that best way for you to start your journey with VR. Uh, and once you get familiar with VR, then you can move up to bigger and better VRs. But honestly, with MetaQuest, I think you will agree. This holiday season, once you purchase MetaQuest 3 VR headset, I think you will agree. Oh my God, there's so many experiences I can have. There's so much I can do here. Social experience, movie experience. I mean, there's so much. For those of you who have spent time with me on a Horizon World and VR chat, many other places, and big screen VR, for those of you, like what MetaQuest has to offer, and the endless amount of experience that you can have just with this VR headset. You know, how long is this video already? It's already 13 minutes. Hold on, I guess we can take off and fly some more. Why not? You know, I'm not in a hurry. I think I can. We can mix it up a little bit here. We can. I want to like see if I can maybe. Hold on a second. I thought maybe I can change the weather a little bit. If I can maybe change the weather. Hold on. I don't know where my. Oh, there it is, right there. Hold on. Maybe I can. Maybe I can do this. Hold on. I want to do my own custom weather. Custom. Like in the morning. Yeah, let's fly in the morning. How about that? Yeah. I want to do this like in the early morning. There you would go. So let me hold on. Let me just go ahead. Let me turn around. We're going to turn around. Make a U-turn over here. Beautiful sunrise. Okay, here we go. I think this is good enough. We can take off from here. There we go. Nice and smooth. Flaps up. This will be a good ride. Because it's sunrise. That's why I wanted you guys to see this in a sunrise. I can also record this in 4K, but it's still going to look kind of blurry because the resolution on the VR headset itself is not that high. So it would be just pointless to be compressing it and then scaling it to 4K. This will give you some basic idea of how it looks, and that's the whole point of this video, to give you some basic idea. For those of you who do have a MetaQuest, if you want to know how to do this, let me know down in the comments. I can make a video step by step and show you what you need to do. Like I said, I did have to lower the scenery. Why there's no sound? Well, there's no sound because I wanted you guys to hear me because I wanted to talk. You really don't need to listen to the noises of the airplane. You don't need to listen to the ATC. I don't think that audio is that important here for you to listen to a noise of an airplane. You need to hear what I have to say. That's what's the important part. I mean, this looks great. I mean, keep in mind this is a Cessna. It's a so how does it feel? Well, it feels like I'm really in an airplane. I don't know how else to tell you. People always ask me what's it feels like. It feels like I'm really in the airplane, even though I know that it's not. That it's not a, of course, a real airplane, but it certainly feels like to me. You can also press the shift on your keyboard to adjust the distance between you and the instruments. But I would keep it on the default because you want to be on the default. You don't want to be out of your default zone. I can see the train tracks. Are these are the train tracks? Are they? Let me see. No, no, these are not the train tracks. This is a highway. I'm sorry. I believe this. Yeah, this is a highway. This is known as 95. 95 is the interstate highway. It still looks pretty good, even for a medium graphics preset. Still looks pretty good. Still looks pretty good. Let's go to a higher altitude. I just want to see some. I want to go to like a higher altitude. I just want to see how it looks if we go to a higher altitude. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that my gaming laptop can even handle this. This is a good gaming laptop, but remember, gaming laptops are very limited. They're not really meant to be your desktop replacements. Let's just be honest. That's why you have a gaming desktop. You know, these gaming laptops are powerful enough to be portable, to give you that premium experience in portability if you're traveling, right? They can give you that portability, and that's the whole point of these gaming laptops. But they're getting better. The gaming laptops are certainly getting better and better. They're getting more powerful, you know, but still they're limited to what you can achieve. Yes, you can still use VR, but the VR is going to be a limited experience. You have to keep that in mind. Versus a gaming desktop, that's where the experience is going to be the best, right? If you play Half-Life Alyx, well, where do you think Half-Life Alyx experience is going to be the best? On the gaming desktop. For sure, gaming desktop. That's where you are going to have the best experience. But this is good. Listen, this is for MetaQuest. This is good. And again, depending on on what kind of PC do you have. See, the mileage will vary. You guys have to understand this. The MetaQuest is just mirroring the VR. It's not processing the VR. It's just mirroring the VR. What does that mean? That means that it's showing you what your PC is rendering, and it's using it as a screen to show that rendering. Okay, it's basically streaming that screen here onto this headset. So your PC is doing all the work. So it really depends on your PC, guys. So you have to make sure that your PC is powerful enough to be able to handle this, because you're really going to need a powerful PC. I mean, I have 4070 RTX. I have i9 processor, so sure, 4070 and i9. But even with a 4070 and i9 processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM, I'm still, as you can see, struggling. I'm not like, having the super vivid experience, but it's a good experience. But for me personally, I think the best experience is going to be with PlayStation VR 2. And I'm so excited for the PlayStation VR 2. I'm so glad that I have PlayStation VR 2. I'm so glad that I never sold it. I'm so glad that I never got rid of it. I'm so glad that I have my PlayStation 5s. I have 3 of them. I never got rid of them because now I will benefit this Christmas, this December. I'll be able to play Microsoft Flight Simulator on the PlayStation 5. And then next year, sometime next year, there's going to be an update for PlayStation VR 2. And I can't wait. I think it will be an amazing experience, honestly, and I just can't wait. But for right now, MetaQuest, it's better than nothing. For me right now, this is the best that I can do, and I'm only speaking for myself. For some of you, of course, if you're somebody who has a 5090 or 5080, sure. If you have a MetaQuest 3 and you got a 5080 or a 5090, oh yeah, you're going to be rocking and rolling with sharpest, cleanest, highest possible bit rate, highest possible detail, highest possible frame rates. You will have an amazing experience. But the mileage will vary, so depending on what you have. So I just want to emphasize on this because I don't want people to think that everyone will be able to enjoy this. No, it really depends on your PC. You can't expect to run this on a, let's say, 2070 or 2060 or 2080. It's a bit of a stretch. Or an old generation i5 processor, so you have to consider that. It'll be not such a good experience. It'll be very lagging experience, and your bit rate is not going to be sharp. It's not going to be detailed. It's just going to be a horrible experience. It's just not going to be worth it. So the mileage will vary depending on what you have, guys. So for me, this is better than nothing. I'm kind of lucky enough that I can actually enjoy this as it is. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Like this whole experience, what I'm trying to say, for me, it's not great, but it's better than nothing. So, but for you guys, it'll depend, like I said, on what you have. It'll depend. But for me, this is good enough. Let me go on a higher altitude, just a little bit on a higher altitude. Man, this sunrise really looks good. Now, for me, VR, like, I know for some of you, when the first time you experience this, you're going to say, ooh, wow, 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 ooh, wow, wow. That's because you never experienced VR. For me, this is, people need to understand something. I'm no stranger to VR. I'm no stranger to VR, okay? People who know me, and they know me well, they know that I'm no stranger to VR. I've been using VR for, let me see, since 2010. My very first experience with VR was Samsung Gear. I had this Samsung 7 Edge phone, and you put this Samsung 7 Edge phone inside this Samsung Gear VR. So my very first VR experience was with Samsung Gear VR. And after that, the Oculus Rift, the Prototype 1, and then Prototype 2, Prototype 3, and then the original release of the Oculus Rift Generation 1, and then Oculus Rift 2 Generation 2, then Oculus Rift S, which I also have used Oculus Rift S, and I sold it, and then I switched back to HTC Vive, and I still have my HTC Vive. It's an amazing experience. And then after HTC Vive, I jumped into Oculus Go. I still have my 2 pairs of Oculus Go, and after Oculus Go, Samsung Galaxy VR headset. It's a Samsung Galaxy Plus something VR headset for the Windows mixed reality. I have 2 pair of these Samsung Galaxy Plus VR headset, Windows mixed reality. What else I have? I have that Lenovo VR headset. Lenovo VR. I forgot the name. I just know it's made by Lenovo. Lenovo VR headset. And then, of course, PlayStation VR Original, which I still have my PlayStation VR Original. And then after that, of course, PlayStation VR 2. And of course, original MetaQuest, which I still have my original MetaQuest. And then MetaQuest 2, which I still have my MetaQuest 2. And of course, MetaQuest 3, which is right here. I still have it. So, and of course, PlayStation VR 2. So, I'm no stranger to VR. So, if you're watching this and you're like, listen, I'm no stranger, man. I've been using VR since 2010. It's a long time. So, for me, it's nothing unusual to put on a VR headset and play like this. But for those of you who never tried it, it's kind of like being a virgin and you pop your cherry and you're like, ooh, wow, oh, wow. You know, everything at the first time, it's, you know, wow, amazing. So, and I think that's why I recommend MetaQuest 3. You know, to pop your cherry if you're virgin VR. Like I told my friend Cami, since you have a powerful PC, you got a 4080 GPU, you got a very powerful PC, man. MetaQuest 3, certainly you are going to benefit with MetaQuest 3. There's so many experiences that my friend Cami can experience on the MetaQuest. I think when he finally buys this VR headset, I think he's going to be blown away. Like how much experiences there are to experience on MetaQuest 3. Not just with the PC, but even without the PC, with a standalone MetaQuest, with a Meta Horizon and VR chat and so many other applications, big screen VR, watching movies in the big 3D VR. I think he's going to be blown away. And I told him, I said, brother, you're missing out. You're missing out big time. And I'm sure he will see this video. And I'm telling you, Cami, you're missing out big time, bro. So I recommend MetaQuest 3 this holiday season to anybody out there who is a virgin VR. If you're a virgin VR, I'm telling you right now, I can't think of a better device than this device. Seriously, I can't think of a best way to start your VR journey than MetaQuest 3. Honestly, this is like the best way for you to start your VR journey. Honestly. And this is coming from a guy who have used super expensive VR headsets, all kinds of VR headsets, man. I've tried them all. You name it. The only thing I haven't tried was a Pimax, but that's because Pimax was just super expensive, so it was out of my reach financially to have a Pimax, right? Unless somebody gives it to me to try it out, to test it, right? Or company gives it to me to review it, which, yeah, good luck with that. Such a piece of expensive equipment. Yeah, they're gonna send that to me to review. I'm sure they would if I was dedicated VR, YouTuber, but I'm not a dedicated VR YouTuber, so why would they want to give it to me? All right, let's make a landing here, guys. But yeah, Pimax is a very expensive piece of hardware. It's a very expensive piece of hardware, and but it's the best, I think. I haven't tried it, but from what I have heard from people, they said that Pimax is the best. But do you have a $2,000? Do you have a $3,000 PC and $2,000? Well, can you pay $6,000? Are you willing to pay $6,000 for the best VR experience? Let's be honest, not many have that kind of cash. So this is where MetaQuest comes in. MetaQuest comes in, honestly, at a very affordable price. You can get MetaQuest 3S for like $300. Dude, for $300, man, yo. I mean, highly recommend it. This Christmas, trust me, for $300, you're not going to regret it. I'm just going to tell you right now. I haven't heard anybody say, oh my God, I regret buying this or I need to return this. I haven't heard anybody say that. And they will not say it because there's so much experience you can have with this. Believe me when I tell you. This is John Wick Returns. Yeah, John Wick. When the John Wick tells you that, yeah, you can have a great experience. You know I'm not lying. Okay, you got to remember, man, this is John Wick Returns telling you how good it is. And also Mr. 4K telling you how good it is because I have so much, like since 2010, guys, I've been using VR since 2010. I'm no stranger to this. And I'm just telling you guys, you are not going to be disappointed. All right, let's make a landing. Here we go. Smooth as a butter. Let's land it. Love it. There we go. Ah, that was smooth as a butter. I mean, come on. Smooth as a butter. All right, well, there you have it, guys. I don't know what else to say. As you can see, it works. Keep in mind, the experience will depend hold on. The experience will depend on let's just park it here. Let's just park it here. The experience will depend on what you have. Now, I'm lucky enough that my gaming laptop can handle this, but for some of you, the experience, the mileage will vary. Dude, what's with the packages? Dude, I'm delivering packages? What? I just realized that I have a bunch of packages. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Well, I just looked at it. I was like, I can't believe it, dude. What's with all the packages? Jeez. Jeez. That's a lot of packages, man. Oh, God. Delivering packages. Oh. No, thank you. Especially during a holiday season, man. Oh, God. Imagine delivering all these packages during a holiday season. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. It's been 40 minutes. Hopefully this long video, 40 minutes long video, will give you some idea how the VR is on the MetaQuest. Like I said, the mileage will vary depending on what you have, depending on your PC, how powerful your PC is. But overall, I think MetaQuest 3 is still worth it because it's a standalone device. This is just an option. Okay, this is just an option for you to connect this to your PC if your PC is powerful enough. But you don't, it's not mandatory for you to have a PC. Understand that. What's so great about the MetaQuest is that it's a standalone device and has all of these experiences as a standalone device. You're not required to have a computer to use this. You don't need a computer to use this. This has its own processing power. Same thing with the PlayStation VR 2. You are required to have a PlayStation 5 to use PlayStation VR 2. And you're paying $600. Think about that. Right? Yes, PlayStation VR 2 is great, but you can use PlayStation VR 2 as a standalone device. It requires a PlayStation 5. You cannot use it without PlayStation 5. So you're always tethered to your PlayStation 5. This, you don't have to be tethered to anything. And I think this is important for people to understand about the MetaQuest. This is an option. All of this is just an option. If I want to connect to my PC, right? That's an option. I don't have to. I can use this as a standalone device. You can do that with the PlayStation VR 2. And you're paying much higher price. You need a PlayStation 5. Pimax, you need a PC. You can't use it without the PC, and you need a super high-end PC. So this is why MetaQuest is leading in VR. It's affordable, and it's compact, and it's a standalone device. It has all of these social experiences, all of these experiences that are possible. Why do you think James Cameron it's teaming up with Mark Zuckerberg and Avatar to bring these Avatar movies in 3D in VR? Because Meta is the leader in VR right now. I don't know if you guys been living under a rock, or if you guys, I don't know, haven't been paying much attention to the current affairs of VR. Make no mistakes. Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, they are leaders in VR. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And you can find out too as well what's the big deal. But you will need to purchase this MetaQuest 3 in order for you to understand why it's such a big deal. I could spend endless hours talking about all these different experiences. You can do your own research, go watch YouTube videos, go on the internet, research, and you will see just how much of experience you can have. Endless amount of experience you can have on a MetaQuest 3. Okay? So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. All right. Please give me a like, share this video, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you. I appreciate you if you made it this far in 44 minutes. If you made it this far in 44 minutes, I really appreciate it. You know, I think it's almost 45 minutes. So if you made it all the way through this far, 45 minutes, thank you very much. Why do I make these videos long? Because I don't like making these short videos. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to show you exactly what I think, my experience, for people who are really interested in this format, VR, I want to spend time to kind of walk you through it, to tell you my experience, to tell you what my experience is with VR. So that way, in this 45 minutes, if you are really interested and you got some interest in VR, you'll have better understanding. Okay, I see what Mr. 4K is saying. All right, let me do some more research myself prior to me buying the VR headset. Right? If you're on the fence and you never tried the VR, I think this 45 minutes will give you some idea about the VR, or you can go watch other videos. Believe me, there's tons of other videos for you to watch regarding the VR. Okay? And you can learn more about the MetaQuest, specifically the MetaQuest and all the features that the MetaQuest has, the MetaQuest 3 has. Okay? So, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate you if you made it this far, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you very much.